Hello everyone and welcome to part 40 of our F1 2021 MyTeam career mode here for the Portuguese Grand Prix, a track that I very much enjoy, another great addition by Cody's to this year's game. Heading into this round though, you can see we are in second in the championship, just behind Charles Leclerc, and we're third in the constructors as well, so hopefully we can close that gap into Leclerc and in the constructors to move ourselves forward. Unfortunately, Ricciardo right down in P9, so hopefully he can also try and gain some more positions. Coming into the round, we've again bought just a minor upgrade this time, but that is really it for the upgrades we've got in the pipeline. Next time out in Spain, we won't have any upgrades, so heading into that round, we'll just have to hope that the other teams around us don't bring a ridiculous amount of upgrades there so that we can try and stay competitive. But yeah, we are starting at the back of the grid for this one, and the game freaked out a little bit here on the grid order, but yeah, just keep that in mind, and let's have a look at the grid order.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Benjamin, Sainz, Sebastian Vettel and Norris, Perez, Hamilton, Ricciardo and Guan Yu Zhou, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda and Stroll, Russell, Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi and Nobuharu Matsushita, Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Robert Schwartzman. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So here we are on the grid for the Portuguese Grand Prix. We are starting in dead last, P22 here, after we had some engine issues in qualifying and parts starting to wear, so I just decided to take a whole new engine heading into this round, and sort of unsurprisingly, Charles Leclerc has taken pole, so unless he's able to be challenged at the start, going by his current form so far this season, he's going to be very difficult to stop from winning this race. But obviously, this whole round for us is just about damage limitation and trying to get ourselves as far into the points as we can. So yeah, hopefully we can have some good pace. We're going to go very aggressive from the start and try and overtake as many of these sort of back marker cars as we can and not waste time getting stuck behind them. Hopefully Ricciardo can maybe try and get some points as well. He qualified in P9, which is a little disappointing, but hopefully with the car pace we do have the fastest car on paper now in this round. Hopefully he can try and make up some spots off the start here, but we've got 5 red lights that are now out and we are underway. It's not the quickest start from us. We do sort of keep up with everyone around us, but we're going to pull right in behind Robert Schwartzman to get the toe down the inside of turn 1, side by side with the Haas there, and we do get ahead of our old teammate, and now we actually dive it down the inside of a few cars here into turn 3 alongside another one of our old teammates, Matsushita there in the Alfa Romeo. We're going to go around his outside of turn 4, and that is into P18, so already making up 4 spots there, so good start as we head into the hairpin. Are we able to maybe go for a move on Latifi? Everyone's sort of bunching up into the hairpin, so we're going to go around the outside there of the Porsche Williams and go side by side with him now, heading up to the very fast right-hander where we do get the move done. So that's now P17 as we look to make a move on Antonio Giovinazzi in the other Alfa Romeo. You can see we actually got a much better run there, so we're going to try and stay as close as we can to the Italian there. Unfortunately not quite close enough to go for a move there, but you can see getting a better exit out of the second last corner, and we're actually completely ahead before we even get to the last corner there, so very nice move. And actually look how quickly we've come up on Nikita Mazepin there in the Aston Martin. Unfortunately for Aston there, they got hurt pretty badly by the aero reg, so yeah, they're not too quick through the corners as we get completely ahead there of the Russian into turn 1, and that's now P15, so lap 1 already into P15 from P22. A very, very nice start. And now on lap 2, you can see diving around the outside of Russell at the hairpin, and we actually pull off a beautiful cutback maneuver on the young Briton there in the Williams. So that's now P14 as we chase down Yuki Tsunoda. So we are making up quite a few positions here. You can see this is the end of lap 2 still. So still lap 2 going on to lap 3 now. We are right behind the Japanese driver in the AlphaTauri. We're closing in Honda versus Audi power there. We're going to go to the outside of turn 1 to try and get the better run around the corner. You can see very nicely and clean there. Both of us leaving room for the other driver. So, yeah, very cleanly into P13. Now, end of lap 3, we're on the back of the other Aston Martin, Lance Stroll. And actually getting very close to hitting the back of the Aston there as we got very close. And actually the FIA giving us a warning there for contact. So maybe we slightly nipped the rear of that car. Luckily no damage for us though, as we're into P12 and now on the back of the Alpine of Esteban Ocon. We are flying through these positions through the bottom half of the field. And you're actually going for a bit of an unorthodox move there. It's not very often you get to go for a move there, but we just had that much car speed over the Alpine that we're now up into P11 ahead of the Frenchman there, and now chasing down his teammate Fernando Alonso for the first of the points-paying positions that we'll be reaching this race. You can see the end of lap 5, start of lap 6, we have DRS on the Alpine. He doesn't have DRS off Joe, he's too far back, so it's quite a simple move here. You can see right up to the back of the Alpine, down the inside very easily, and it's into 10th place out of turn 1. So yeah, now it's about trying to chase down the rest of the pack. But let's have a look at the running order now on lap 7. We've got Charles Leclerc leading the way, so they weren't able to challenge him. He's got a 3.5 second gap over Carlos Sainz in the McLaren, and then the other Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel there in P3. Max Verstappen in the Red Bull P4. Our teammate Ricciardo's done well to get himself into P5 there after starting in 9th place, so hopefully he can keep moving forwards. Norris, current world champion, in P6. Hamilton in the Mercedes in 7th. Perez 8th. Zhou 9th. And then it's ourselves in P10 chasing down the Mercedes. But it is, you'll notice, a lot harder to chase down the top 10 in this field compared to how easy it was to pass the bottom half of the field. That's you can see in the performance chart at the start of the video, and I've said it a few times, the field sort of split into two in this career mode. We sort of got the top half of the field that is very quick, and the bottom half that's not quite as quick. You can see there at the end of lap 9, I actually ran out of ERS allowance for the lap. That's how much I was pushing to try and close up to the back of the Mercedes here. And you can see now, finally on lap 12, we have DRS on Joe, and we're going to go to the inside of turn 1, and it's actually a pretty simple move there, but just to close down those 3-4 seconds, whatever it was, once we passed Alonso, it was certainly a lot of work. And now at the end of lap 12, you can see a lot of those front guys coming in. Ricciardo, Verstappen, Hamilton, they're all in at the end of lap 12 there. Now we're going to come in at the end of lap 13 here, and we are going to go onto the hard compound tyre. It is going to be a one-stop race from all of us, at least us guys at the front with better tyre wear than some of the rest of the field. You can see there's Perez ahead of us, he's on the hards. Joe behind us, he's going to go onto the hards. Ricciardo, Norris, Hamilton, Verstappen, they all went on the hard tyres. Leclerc, Sainz and Vettel are actually the only three that haven't pit yet. So it'll be interesting what tyre they go onto, because we've gone almost half the race on the soft tyres. So really, the mediums could be used, but just for that extra safety allowance, I think we've all gone for the hard compound tyre. But maybe if those front guys go a little bit further, they can go to the mediums. You can see the end of lap 15, start of lap 15 here, so we're right on the back of Hamilton. We're going to dive to the inside of turn 3, and we actually got the move done quite nicely there. I had some very good pace on these hard tyres, and we are now officially a part of this sort of front fight. I can confirm Leclerc, Sainz and Vettel did actually come in for medium tyres, so yeah, those guys just pushing those extra couple laps has allowed them to go on to the softer compound. It'll be interesting to see what the pace difference is like at the end of the race. You can see lap 17 there, diving to the inside of Sergio Perez. That's us now into P7, and now we're going to be chasing down the reigning world champion in the McLaren, Lando Norris there at the end of lap 18 now on to lap 19. We're going to have the DRS on the McLaren, and obviously we've got equal engines here, both of us powered by Audi, but the DRS and slipstream, they're just so powerful, we fly past, although he actually comes back at us around the outside of turn 1, but we do eventually get the move done there on the exit, and that is us in the P6, although we've actually locked both front wheels. They're just pushing a little bit too hard, maybe wearing the front tyres a bit. And Norris is going to come back at us now, and he's going to have DRS as well. We're the only one in this little four-way battle that doesn't have DRS. So Norris is to the inside. We've actually got Perez going to the outside as well. Norris has gone a bit too deep. And so we actually get a nice cut back there and get back into P6 ahead of Norris. But Norris, yeah, certainly fighting us there. He doesn't want to lose that position. But now we're going to hopefully try and focus on closing in on Daniel Ricciardo, our teammate in P5 there, sorry. As we head to lap 22 there, you can see there's a yellow flag, and it's for Lewis Hamilton there. His Mercedes power unit giving out on him. It's either the power unit or an electrical failure there. You can see no smoke out the back end there. He doesn't have a puncture or anything. And yeah, if he did have a puncture, you'd imagine he'd go around and try and get into the pit lane. Although actually there is a little bit of smoke coming out the back of that Mercedes there. So yeah, big shame there for the 7-time champion, but that's sort of just going to help us in the championship battle. But heading into lap 24 now, in turn 1, you can see Norris trying to go around our outside there. He had the DRS on us. So yeah, continuing this battle, you can see Perez riding behind as well, looking to see if he can maybe get a position or two out of this, as we once again miss out on DRS. We were the car that was ahead of everyone heading into the DRS detection point, and once again we were looking to go 3 wide there, but this time I've gone right around the outside, almost run off the track there, but it has given me a really nice exit, so we're going to go side by side with the reigning champion, hold it alongside him there. Very tight stuff between the two of us, very respectful to be not making contact. Big moment, tank slapper there, making a little bit of sidewall contact with Norris, and we've lost the car. We spin. We made contact with Norris's car while we were spinning. We're going to cross the grass, and we've smashed with Perez. Perez is out of the race there in the Red Bull. We've got front wing damage, but somehow we're still in the race, still able to continue on. That could have been a lot worse. But at the same time, huge shame there for the Red Bull. You can see we're going to go on board with him here in a replay. You can see I was going side by side with Norris, and through the left-hander, I've just lost the rear, made contact with the McLaren, which just sent me across the gravel and grass, and there was nothing Perez could do to avoid that. I just came out of absolutely nowhere. I'd completely lost control of the car. You can see we're going to look for my on board now. Just going through the left, yeah, I just completely lost the rear. Maybe because I had overtake mode still going, that just gave it that slight too much power for the car to handle. You can see on board with Joe here is a little bit of a better view of what happened ahead of him. But yeah, unfortunately, I just completely lost the car, and very close there for Joe. He did very good to slow down and avoid contact there. That could have cost him, you know, could put him out of the race, or at least put him in the pit lane with damage, but he's been able to continue on. You can see here we are at the on lap 25 now in the pit lane, getting a new front wing and actually onto the soft tyres, and it has caused a safety car as well. So we're going to have a look at the running order. Leclerc leading the way, ahead of Carlos Sainz in the McLaren, and then Sebastian Vettel in the other Ferrari there in P3. You can see they got Mick Schumacher in the Haas actually between Sainz and Leclerc there, so hopefully he gets out of the way in time. Verstappen in the Red Bull in P4, our teammate Ricciardo in P5. Norris got away out of that with no damage, so he continues on in P6. He's actually got Robert Schwartzman just ahead of him, so hopefully Schwartzman gets out of the way. Zhou also didn't have to pit there in P7. No one else actually pit under the safety car. You can see Alpine looking to get their best result of the season so far with the double points finish with Alonso in 8th, Ocon 9th, and Lance Stroll rounding out the points there in the Aston. So yeah, Aston needs some points desperately. So it's good for him to be in P10. You got the 2 AlphaTauris and then ourselves in P13. So on these fresh, completely fresh soft tyres, it'll be interesting to see what we're able to do here with 5 laps to go. You can see trying to get the jump on the safety car, but unfortunately there I just slightly mistimed it, and so we're not going to be able to get a massive dive on Gasly into turn 1 here. You can see the Haas cars up ahead getting out of the way, so we have to go single file through turn 1 anyway. Same with turn 2 because there's Schumacher. But as we head into turn 3, we're going to go for a big dive ahead of Pierre Gasly there. Very nice move. I think we were just outside of the yellow flag zone there. The graphic didn't quite change, but I think we just timed perfectly because the FIA haven't given us an illegal move warning there. As we head into the hairpin, going for a move on Tsunoda, I actually have to make avoiding action there to make sure I don't run into the back of Stroll as well. And we come out of the hairpin there in P10, so already into the points, making up 3 spots. So very good there as we're now on the back of Esteban Ocon, looking to make another move this lap. Are we close enough to go for a dive on the Alpine? We've got to be careful not to do anything too risky, but I also don't want to lose too many points to Leclerc in the championship, because remember, he's looking good to win this race. He's already got over a second, the car's behind. So when DRS gets enabled for the last couple laps, he won't actually have to worry about that. So we've really got to push to make as many positions as possible. You can see we do get the move done on Ocon there for P9. And now we're going to chase down Fernando Alonso. You can just see how much more speed we can carry through the corner there with the extra grip we've got in the faster car. We actually pull up along the outside of Alonso there through the last corner. That is how much more grip and speed we have than the Alpine. We're going to force the 2-time champion to the inside of turn 1 to make sure we get the better run through the corner, and it is very easily done ahead of the Alpine. And look at this, we are already back with the battle that we were in before we had that crash with Perez and causing that safety car. We are with Zhou and Norris, so we haven't actually lost anything here. This actually could have ended up working out for us because we're now back in the exact same position as we were, except the gap to Ricciardo isn't as big as we go for a beautiful double move on Zhou and Norris there. Back into P6 where we were originally, but now the gap to Ricciardo isn't as big as it was before the safety car, and we have a massive tyre advantage. So this has actually ended up working out for us somehow, unbelievably. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked for Perez, but as we go on to lap 31, you can see we set the fastest lap of the race, so there's an extra point in the bag, and we're now right on the back of our teammate. We're going to have DRS, he does as well, but we're a lot closer. We have the slipstream, and so we're just going to go for a massive dive into the hairpin. Why not? We've got the extra grip, and we do get the move done. Ricciardo not putting up a super massive fight there, and that's us up into P5. Can we even go for a move on Verstappen? Is a podium possible at this point? We've got 2.5 laps to go. Let's see what we can do. We're going to chase down the Red Bull of Verstappen. I'd say we're going to get to him pretty quickly here. You can see the end of start of lap 32, sorry. We are right on the back of the Red Bull, just looking for the right moment to do it, and we ended up going to the inside there, last moment. I wasn't meant to do that, just the closing speed on the Red Bull was so quick, I wasn't expecting that. We're very lucky not to get any damage, as we now have DRS. He doesn't have DRS, so he goes defensive into the hairpin. We're going to try and sweep around the outside. Actually decided to go for a cut back there, like we've done a couple times so far this race, and it is a very nice cut back there. We get completely ahead of the Red Bull, but we are going to have to check out that move into turn 3 there. I wasn't meant to go for a move there. You can see just the closing speed. I was not expecting. You can see very slow-mo here. Very close. Millimeters from hitting the back of that Red Bull. So luckily we had the reaction times to just sort of swing it to the inside. And it actually did sort of put Verstappen offline, which helped us out in the end there. But yeah, very lucky to not have another incident with another Red Bull there. But you can see end of lap 33, sorry. We haven't been able to close into the cars ahead, so it's going to look like a P4 for us. But Charles Leclerc, again, another dominant race for him. He's led the whole thing. 3 seconds to second place. He comes around the final corner, and he's going to win here in Portugal. Incredible. He's absolutely unstoppable at the moment. He wins. Sainz comes second. Vettel in the other Ferrari third. And somehow we've come back for 4th place. What an amazing recovery.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
I have no idea how we are going to stop the Charles Leclerc dominance that we are witnessing so far this season. He's a man on an absolute mission at this point of the season. If we're not near the front, or if everything just goes his way, then there is no way to stop him in that Ferrari. He wins again here in Portugal. Here are the results. Sainz second, Vettel third, ourselves fourth. Verstappen ended up coming home fifth. Ricciardo, sixth isn't a bad result, but considering we came from the very back of the grid, had our incident with Perez that put us back, we had to make an extra pit stop, and we were still able to come and finish ahead of him in P4 with the extra fastest lap point to boot. I don't know. We had the fastest car again this round, and again, he hasn't really performed to where we need him to. You can see here in the driver's standings, the gap now 27 points to Leclerc as he pulls that out a little bit with that race win. We've got 6 points ahead of Verstappen, and Ricciardo right down at P9. So, yeah, he's just not performing to the level we need. So, yeah, I don't know. When it comes to the mid-season time, you know, maybe we have to be looking at options. This is our last season, and I want to win this championship, both the drivers and constructors. You can see in the constructors here, 47 points off Ferrari, 2 points off of Red Bull. So, any point we can get is absolutely crucial at this point in the season, throughout the whole season, that is. If we want to be beating Ferrari, especially in the drivers, if we want to be beating Leclerc, we need every bit of performance we can, whether it's from the car or from our teammate. But that is going to be all for this episode, everyone. The next time out will be in Barcelona, so if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.